Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back here with another video, and today I decided to bring this video where I'm going to be talking about a beginner React concept that a lot of beginners have trouble dealing with, especially because they might not be aware that this is actually something that they shouldn't be doing. And what I'm talking about is the concept of prop drilling. And if you're not familiar with this concept, don't worry, because I'll go over it. I'll also show you guys an example, and then at the end I'll show you guys how you can fix that and how you can prevent this from happening in your future React application. But before we get into the video, if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, I would massively appreciate it, because it will help push my videos to more people, which consequently will just increase the support that I receive, and I would be very happy if you guys could do that. Now, with that in mind, let's get into the tutorial. So I created this diagram over here just to go over what exactly is prop drilling. So basically, imagine you have an application, and I assume that you will only encounter this issue if you are at least a little bit familiar with how states work in React. So imagine you have an application where you have a component which creates a state. Let's imagine it's like the app.js file that you initially have. So the app component, you create the state inside of that. Then you have two more components. One component is called inside of the app component, and then that component calls another component that is below it. So it's kind of like following, right? It's if you think of the components as a tree, it's almost like a linear path where the top is the app component, then there's another component right below the app, and then that component calls another component that is right below it. Now imagine you created a state in the app component, and you want to access it in the lowest level one, the third component that is right at the bottom. Well, in order to do that, you can easily do it by passing the state through the props, which is something that you should learn right in the beginning, that you can actually pass states through props and access it in different components. However, in order to access the states that was created in the app component, which is the top one, you have to pass it as props to the middle one, although the middle one won't do anything with that. All it will do is it will pass it as props to the bottom one. So that's the problem. When you have some component that receives a state or anything as props, just so that something that is below it can access that. So technically we have a component which is receiving a prop but is not doing anything with it. And that's basically the idea of prop drilling. Why is this bad? Well, there's nothing inherently bad with that technically, but for everyone who spent some time working in React applications and have dealt with complex projects, they know that this is a very, very bad practice, because later on, as your project becomes more complex, it becomes a lot harder to keep track of what props are actually used for or not. Many people don't like putting everything inside of one component just because it will overload it and make it non-maintainable. So when you add stuff like props that are not being used in a component into your application, it just becomes a mess. So it is extremely important that you prevent this by using different methods. So as an example, I actually created this React application over here that we'll be taking a look at and we'll be dealing with throughout the tutorial. So you can see we have our app.js, which is the parent component, which is the highest level one, and it creates a state called count, and it starts with the number 0, right? And we also created two more components inside of this application. We created the displayCount.js and the button.js. So basically the app.js calls the display count, and the display count calls the button component. And here is the button component. All it does is it includes like a little button which says increase count. And we can see that this exists inside of our application, right? It looks well. The display count is showing the number, and it is also showing the button, which is being displayed by the button.js component. Now, one thing we should take into account is that we created this count state on the app component, and we're passing it as props to the display count component so that we can just display it over here, right? You can see where we have the props and we're just displaying it. And it works, right? It's showing 0 because the value of the state is 0. But if we actually came over here and changed this to 1, we should see that it also changes it. If I refresh my page, you can see it says 1, which means it is working perfectly, right? But there's a problem. I want to increase the value of this state over here by clicking on the button. So I need to have this access this function over here, setCount, inside of the button.js component. But I can't do that because we're not calling the button.js component from the app component. We're calling it from the display count. So technically what we need to do is we need to pass this set count component state over here inside as props to the display count, so set count, and from the display count we need to grab that prop and pass it as props to the one below it as well. So we're gonna say set count is equal to props dot set count, like this. And then finally in the button.js we'll grab the props, and over here we'll just pass some sort of on click, and we actually have access now to the set count function. So we can do something simple like this. I'll just say that whenever you click on the button, we want to set the value of the actually I need to say props, so I'll say props dot set count is equal to the previous count. So we'll just grab the previous count, and then we can just come over here, create a function, and say that we want to set the count equal to whatever it was before plus 1. So we're just increasing the value of count every time we click on the button. And now if we come over here and we click on the button, you can see it works perfectly. Now the problem with this, as I mentioned before, is that again we have this set count function that is created on the app component, but we have to pass it as props to the display count component, even though it's not using it. It's not doing anything other than just passing it as props to a component that it's calling. So this is a great opportunity for you to have some state management. And if you're not familiar with state management, it is a very important topic and a lot of beginners have difficulty with. And I don't think I'll go as much in depth into state management in this video. I'll just show you guys a fix by using the context API real quick, just so you guys can have an idea of what is a possible solution. But I do have videos on different ways you can implement state management in React. If you ever heard of the word Redux, you should know that that's a state management library. It's a way for you to manage your states so that stuff like this doesn't happen. And there's a built-in API in React called the context API, which is the one that we're going to be using so that we do the exact same thing, which is make our states be managed in a way so that stuff like this and our application as a whole doesn't become as complex as we scale. So let's implement the context API so that this over here won't happen. Well, the way we'll do this is I'll actually come over here and I'll create a file called just context.js. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing this because I want to organize my project a bit. I'll just put the context creation inside of here. And what we want to do is we want to come over here and say import from React. So I'm going to import this from the React library. And what I want to import is a function called create context. So what we do is down here, we're going to create a context called count context or whatever we want to call it. If you have, for example, you can have multiple contexts inside of our application. So in our case, we'll just call it count context. And we'll set it equal to create context. And just for now, we'll pass null over here. We're just creating a context and setting it equal to null initially, but then we'll give it values represented by our states. So what we want to do is we actually want to access this outside of this file. So I want to export this like this, export. And in our app.js, which is where we create the state, we're going to import it. So I'm going to say import from the file that we just created, which is the /context. I want to import the count context. Now that we have this imported, we can actually use it in our application. The way we deal with this is we actually want to take into account where do we want to access all the states. So for example, in our case over here, we have this one state and we're going to access it inside of every component that exists inside of this div, right? So if we want to do this, we can do something like this, where we get the count context that we just created. We say dot provider, and we wrap this around with all of this. So we'll just say count context dot provider. One thing I will say is, and I'll actually just close this like this so that we can close the whole thing. So what we're doing over here is we created this context and we can pass states inside of it. And what we do is we wrap everything that we want, like every component that we want to have access to that state inside of this provider. So technically, we want to have access to the count and the set count state inside of this and everything that is inside of this. So technically, it includes the button.js as well. So when we do this, all we have to do now is pass some sort of values to here. And the values basically mean that I want to, like, what states, what functions, whatever we want to pass, so that we can access them in the components inside of it. So what we want to pass is we want to pass the count state and the setCount function. So that now, if we want to access this, we don't actually need to pass it through props. Because what we can do now is, inside of the display count, for example, we're trying to access the count, right? So what we can do is, we can come over here, we can say const equal to use context, which is a hook in React, and to use it we need to import it from React. Then inside of here we can just pass the context that we created from the context file. So we also need to import it from over here. So I'll just actually copy this, paste it over here, and we're gonna pass the specific context that we want, so count context. And now if we want, we can just grab the count or the setCount function from here. We don't need to pass it through the props. In our case, we just want the count over here. So I just pass count, and we don't need to say props anymore. And to fix the button thing, we again don't need to pass it through props. We can just do the exact same thing we just did in the display count, but instead of grabbing the count state, we grab the setCount function, like this. And I'll import the count context over here as well. And we also need to import the use context hook. So now we don't say props.setCount, we can just say setCount, because it will work since we're getting the values from the context. Now you can see how this makes it seem a lot easier, right? I know it seems complicated in the beginning if you've never used a context API before. However, this is very small change that we make compared to the amount of work that we would have had to put into our application if we didn't actually manage our states. In this case over here, we can do whatever we want and just access that information by using the use context hook. And it's a lot simpler, it avoids prop drilling, and it makes your app a lot more maintainable. So with that in mind, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like down below and comment what you want to see next. Subscribe because I'm posting 2 times a week and I would massively appreciate it. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to help you guys because I feel like this is a very important beginner's project. Because I feel like this is a very important beginner's topic, and I really want to help beginners, especially because I had difficulty with this when I started out. So with that in mind, if you enjoyed it, leave a like, and yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I see you guys next time.